That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is Commissioner Cooper, and we got a new beat for the 3P. I'm guest hosting tonight. Our girl Nat is out for just a little bit. She'll be back for that playoff push. But in the meantime, I'm going to play host for her for the time being. Let's get to our guests. I got to go to my man's first because, you know, it's your stick. He's Jonesing. Let's go to Jones. What's up, my friend? Good to see you.
What's going on? What's going on? I'm excited about this one. Let's have fun with it.
Hell yeah, absolutely. And the man, the myth, the legend, Travis Reed. Welcome into the building, my friend.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
out the car and in the house. I love it. Absolutely. All right. Well, again, NBA time. It's playoff push is coming. We got a lot of things to talk about. And first thing up, though, we got to get to the latest news. And, of course, that starts with those silly injuries. So let's bring our injury expert in, Brian Scott from the injured list.
Who the hell is that guy holding the ball?
Yeah, you look a little thinned out, bro. You been to the gym lately? What's going on?
I got a little poof of hair in the front there, too. How about that?
Welcome into the studio, my friend. It's good to see you.
Well, thanks for having me, man. It's been a while since I chatted
Brian?
basketball. How you guys doing?
Good. How you doing,
Good, Brian, man.
All right.
We're just trying to catch up, and Brian and I, we're still getting over that NFL season. So we're finally waking up to that NBA. Brian, what's going on the injury list? What we got on the report tonight?
Oh, well, so, you know, I haven't spoken about a lot of injuries all season, and there's been a bunch of guys that are out for the season. Ben Simmons, no surprise there. I think I called that 2 years ago that he was not going to make it. LaMelo dealing with an ankle injury. He's out till early April. Zach LaVine, foot surgery, out for the year. Trae Young injured his finger, had to have a ligament repaired. He's out till mid or early April, they're saying. And then Jalen Johnson just went down recently with a re-sprain of his ankle. You've got guys like Tyler Hero dealing with some knee issues, Brandon Ingram as well, all out until at least sometime in April. And then my Knicks making a big playoff push this year, sitting in the number 3 seed, I think, right now in the East, which is like totally crowded with all of these teams that are mediocre. But hey, I'll take it because the Knicks haven't been in the playoffs for God knows how long. And they got Julius Randle coming back from a dislocated shoulder. Originally, they were saying 4 weeks. I knew that was going to be that short. So he's out indefinitely now. He's not yet doing full contact. It's already been 8 weeks since the injury. I really think they're just holding on to him, getting him as 100% as they could be heading into the playoffs here. Same thing with Mitchell Robinson. He had surgery back in December. So it's been like 3.25 months now since he's been out. I think, again, they're just getting him ready for that big playoff push, having those guys as healthy as they can be heading into the early rounds. And then you got big names like Joel Embiid, man, dealing with the knee issue, tore his lateral meniscus, had surgery to address that. They're saying that he's probably going to be back sometime in early April. As of right now, he's already 7 weeks out. So I'm a little surprised he's not back already. But again, with the East being so crowded and everybody kind of a spot or two separated by just a few games, I think they're just going to wait till they get to that playoff push and then bring these guys back when they're really ready to go.
Absolutely. And, you know, I should have did a proper introduction. Brian, of course, is a well-known orthopedic surgeon. You know the deal, man. Them big joints start to wear on them after a little while, unfortunately. As you said, you called that a while back ago. Yeah. All right, Brian, well, let everybody know where they can follow, subscribe, get all your great content, because we know you're covering more than just B-ball. What else you got going on?
Oh, yeah. So we've got a bunch of interviews up on the podcast that we've done over the course of the offseason here from football. And then we've got a big NFL live draft event happening on location from North Carolina at one of our local pubs here called H2 Public House. That's going to be with Dan Mater of Operation Domination and Chris Fox from Armchair Athletics and Chris Fox Sports. So you guys don't want to miss that. It's going to be a live stream, live feed. We'll have live guests and audience participation April 25th and 26th. And yeah, I mean, other than that, not much going on.
Other than that, he's just doing surgeries and doing podcasts, and what else is there? All right, Brian, we appreciate you coming in, my friend. We're going to send you out because we got to talk about the past, or what was, and we're going to talk about the MVPs of the week. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate you.
All right, Brian.
All right, let's get to the B-ball, fellas. I keep saying B-ball. That's man, what is? I don't know where I'm getting that from. My bad. All right, let's go, Jones. Give me your MVP. Let's go. Let's start with the players of the week. Tell me, give me your MVP of the previous week. Somebody you thought really shined out.
For me, I'm gonna give you two. One from the West, one from the East. From the West, I'm gonna start with AD. He's been phenomenal for the Lakers lately, averaging 27 points, 16 and a half rebounds, 2 blocks, and shooting 68% from the field. And we've been 3-0 since then, which is very important for the Lakers right now in the position they're in there in the play-in, trying to get out of that play-in. Going to be hard, but it's still a fighting chance for them to do it. So AD is obviously the core of that team. He's going to have to play at his best in order for the Lakers to do that. And then another guy that me and Nat love to death from the New York Knicks, Josh Hart. He is the soul beat of that team. I love him. He's not the best player, but he gets a lot of the work done. He gets a lot of the dirty work done. Averaging triple doubles the last couple of weeks. So I've been loving the way that he's been playing, getting us some big wins. And like our guy just said, we're sitting top 3, top 4 right now. So we're in a good position. We just got to keep it going.
All right, sounds good. Appreciate that. I like the throwback to Nat, but I didn't hear any Celtic talk in there. I noticed that. Travis, my man, what you think from last week? Give me your MVP player of the week or players.
Well, I definitely agree with Jones. You know, like AD was monster. Like last night, he had 36 points, 16 rebounds. You know, in a crucial win against Indiana, obviously one of the craziest games I've seen all year, 150 to 145. Yeah. So AD it was between AD and Joker. I think Joker's kind of running away with the MVP, but I think AD, you know, should get Defensive Player of the Year this year. As far as the East go, God give it to Tatum. He's been killing. The Boston Celtics are 57-14. They're 11 games ahead of the second place team, so they can actually win like 3 more games and sit for the next 2 weeks and still be number 1 seed.
Yeah, we'll talk about that at a later time when we get closer here, but that's an interesting topic to bring up. You know, what is better for an NBA team to sit, you know, in the NFL? That's always like a big question. You know, you sit for a little while, you get cold, period. And it takes a little bit to get that rhythm and flow back. But it's also a long season. You need to sit the hell down and rest. That's for damn sure. All right, well, Travis, let's get back to you with the MVP. Let's talk about team of the week. Give me your MVP team so far from last week.
I have to go with the Lakers. You know, like I said, they had as you can see, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like they had, you know, big wins. Obviously, they beat Philly. I mean, obviously without Embiid, they beat Indiana last night. So I think they're trying to find they're finding their stride at the right time. Hopefully, they can just continue to not have any setbacks. You know, coming up this week. Big week this week. First, starting off against the Bucks.
Not a homer pick at all. Not at all. Jones, how about you, man? Right? You tell me.
Well, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with the Laker pick. I like the Laker pick, but I'm gonna go with the Rockets. The Rockets are 9-1 in their last 10 games and are only 1 game behind the Warriors to get into the play-in position. The Warriors are about to knock themselves out, and the Rockets are about to get themselves in, which is something that nobody saw coming. We thought it would, everyone that's where they're at, we thought it would just, that's where it's going to be. But the Rockets have made a hell of a run, even after losing one of their best players. So it's a big shock for me, but I like what the Rockets are doing.
Just a quick live update. The Rockets down by 4 at the half to the Trailblazers. Also wanted to bring up a couple things. Jokic, I think that they might as well name the MVP after him at this point, quite frankly, because it's just his trophy, really, at the end of the day. Good stuff, fellas. I appreciate that. Here we go. Look, as we're building up here towards our big playoff run, I got to hear y'all's opinion. Let's talk about this big playoff push coming up.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me?
All right, there's the picture of the East. Now, I said things are obviously changing as we speak because we do have New York. Wow, the Knicks are up huge right now. Boston looks like they're winning, going to win that game against the Hawks. So that could affect the Hawks seeding as they're battling down there battling for that last spot. All right, well, let's kick it to you. Let's go to Jones. I'll go to you first. Let's talk about this current seeding. Talk about who you think may rise or fall, or how this goes going forward.
A team that I think is going to fall because they're just not playing good basketball right now is the Cavaliers. They are like 3-7 the last 10 games. They've been inconsistent. They're high and then they're low. They're high and then they're low. And that was my biggest worry about them coming into the season was, could they be consistent? And could, what's his name, Donovan Mitchell, click with those other guys on that team and not hinder their growth? Because when Garland was out, he was in there, and obviously he's the star of the team, but he was taking on that role, but was kind of hindering his growth. That's how I felt. And when he got back, it wasn't going to mesh the right way. And that's what it's looking like right now. It's just not looking like a great team basketball. And that's obviously going to hurt them in the playoffs.
Absolutely. Cleveland did pull off a big victory tonight against those Charlotte Hornets, 115-92. So at least they got tonight in. Travis, what about you? Give me a riser or faller here in this Eastern Conference playoff picture.
Well, I definitely feel like the Knicks could rise to the 3 seed and the Pacers could rise to the 5 seed. Orlando's never been this good, this late in the season. They're a really, 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 really young team. Really young teams kind of fade a little bit down the stretch, because they've never been to this point, So I can see those teams, Cleveland, going to the 3 and 4, and then New York moving to the 3, and I can see Orlando moving down to the 6, and then Indiana moving to the 5.
Pressure is a funny thing. My bad, Jones. Yeah, pressure is a funny thing. Like you said, Orlando Magic being young, but also playing good basketball right now. So it is possible they're not too far out. They could wind up in the 4 seed, as you said. You talked about it, Jones. You could see the Cavs fall, watch the Magic get up to 4 and move the Knicks up. Could be a possibility the way this thing is shaping up. Let's move on to the West. Travis, we'll go to you first in this playoff picture here. I feel like it's a little more interesting, at least as the top goes. I feel like Boston's kind of running away with the East and on the other side, but this picture's a little different with Denver number 2, OKC number 1. Tell me, give me a riser or faller out of this group.
I think OKC falls. Denver ends up at 1. I think, OKC's kind of similar. Young team, could be fade down the stretch. But I don't think Denver really cares as much where their seeding is. They can win anywhere. They can win on the road. They can win at home. I think Phoenix could fall from the 6 to the 7 to the play-in, and Sacramento could move up from their their spot. With the Lakers, I think they're just kind of too far behind the eighth spot to get to the 8th spot. I think they're three games behind, because right now I think they're solidified at the 9. Yeah. So as far as the West, it's a little bit more congested. Every team from 3 to 7 is 3 games apart.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think the West, it could move. Like I said, whoever finishes strong could, go up, go down.
Absolutely. It's all about getting hot at the right time. Go ahead.
And I forgot to say, Golden State, if they keep sliding, they will be out, and Houston will be in as a 10 seed.
Might be end of an era for Golden State. That is for sure. All right, Jones, you tell me, riser followers here for this big Western Conference playoff picture.
So I'm going to just go to the top. That top 3, it's over the past month and a half, maybe even longer. It's been switching. It's been OKC one day. It's been Thunder one day. It's been the Timberwolves one day. So I really don't know how that's going to end up. It's hard for me to give a definite answer. But what I will say is, like Trav said, a team like the Nuggets, they don't care where they fall because they're the best team definitely in the West, might be the best team in the whole entire league. So the positioning for them it doesn't really matter. I think it might play a part where they might, maybe we want to play this team first so we don't have to go so hard. All those things are going to start to come into effect as we get closer to the playoffs. But if I had to pick one of them, I'll just say OKC stays at the top to end the season.
Travis brought up the point earlier about the Orlando Magic, being young and all that. I mean, there's a big difference when you talk about teams that sometimes they're just regular season teams and they're teams that come into the playoffs. Not to toot my own horror, but that Miami Heat, that's kind of like where I see them, it's kind of getting it through they've been hurt, not for nothing. I didn't want to bring that up to Brian. Like, how about my team? We could go through the whole team, all the injuries over there. So, again, it's interesting to see that dynamic for the Nuggets because, like I said, but they're right there in the mix, looking at it. They could be number one tomorrow morning. Who knows the way this thing is shaping up. All right, well, let's get on. We talked about what was. Let's talk about what is. Let's talk about next week and make some predictions. The future. Jones, let's go to you. Tell me about some games or something you're looking to watch next week, especially the way this playoff race is going down.
So one of the games that I circled for next week that I think is big is the Kings and Mavs game in the West. I think that's a big game because they're right now, I think 7-8. They're fighting each other to try to get, higher seeding. It's the Kings, it's the Mavs, and who's right above them? Is it the Suns?
Kings.
Suns at 6.
My bad. Sorry.
Suns at 6.
Suns, yeah. So those three teams are really fighting. The Lakers are trying to squeeze in there, but like Trav said, it's going to be hard for them to get above where they already are, unless all those other three teams start sliding. But I think the Kings and Mavs is a huge matchup next week. I think the Kings, I'll predict the Kings are going to win that. I just think they're the better team. Mavs, great team, great offensive team, but they don't play a lot of defense, which I think is going to hurt them in the long run. So that's my game to watch of next week is the Kings and Mavs.
Yeah, I think if I remember, I heard correctly. I know they play on Friday, but I thought I heard that they play twice or something. Yeah. So that's going to be really interesting in the way this Western Conference is. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, it's either tomorrow or the day after that.
Yeah, and then they play again on the Friday.
Another one on Friday. Yeah.
So that's really, that's two huge games for that, a play-in bracket, if you will, down the stretch. Trav, how about you, my friend? What about a game, something that you're looking forward to next week that you're going to look for?
Well, I mean, obviously, I would love to see what's going to happen with the Lakers and the Bucks, Giannis and AD. But I'm just saying. No, but it's an interesting one. Denver versus Phoenix next week in Denver, I believe. And like I said, Phoenix, they have the toughest schedule down the stretch. So that's why I said, like, with them in the play-in, like, they can end up in the 7-8 game versus the Lakers maybe. And like I said, the Lakers have beaten them 3 out of 4. Yep. And so they can in Phoenix end up from the 6 to the 8 and end up playing Denver as the 1. You know what I'm saying? They just don't match up well with Denver. Denver's just too big. So next week next week is like some crucial games coming up.
Oh yeah.
For all the teams, because like we talked about, all the teams are so jumbled in the West, especially East. It's pretty much done.
Right.
But it's just done. But the West is so jumbled up that somebody has to stick out in those 10 through 6, that big old jumble.
Yep. You are quick with those Laker stats, Trav. I got to tell you, bro. You got them. The one thing I heard today, though, was the other night they scored. I apologize. I don't remember the exact score, but it was the not since the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar era have they scored so many points. So Lakers getting hot might be too little, too late. Sadly, I hate to say that. Just real quick, I know I didn't bring it up on the sheet, but I just wanted to, it was something I wanted to ask anyway, and I just forgot to bring it up to you guys because you Travis brought up Jokic as the MVP. So Jones, let me kick that back to you. Do you have any argument to that? Is there anybody that you think feels MVP other than Jokic?
Other than Jokic, I think there's numerous, I don't want to say numerous, but two other guys that come to mind that I would say definitely deserve to be in the conversation. I don't think they'll probably win it because Joker's just running away with it. But I would put Shea in there because what he's doing with OKC, that young team, he's consistent. He's not out there. He's not loud. He's not, he's just a baller. He's just doing his thing. And this team is ahead of schedule. So nobody expected them to be doing this good, this fast. They're ahead of schedule. So he should be in the conversation. And lastly, Jason Tatum. I don't think he's getting enough credit. I know Nat would love to hear that if she was here. But I think Jason Tatum being that, Boston is 11 games ahead of the second team. And it's like nobody's really looking at it. Maybe it's because of their past. Maybe it's because of, Boston is always a good regular season team. So they're kind of giving them that, we're seeing this before. But I don't know. I think you got to give credit when credit is due. Jason Tatum is doing his thing. Maybe part of it is because the clutch thing. His clutch time has not been good this year. So maybe that's why he hasn't been getting that much MVP.
Good, Trent.
Yeah. Pretty much I would have to agree, but you can add Dallas. I can't even think of his name right now.
Luka.
Luka, because Luka's, typical like 33. He's leading the league in points by a mile. It's like 30, 35, 9, and 8. I think with Tatum, people forget in 08, Boston was like 65 and 17 or whatever they were, and they didn't have an MVP. Garnett didn't win it. Kobe won it, the MVP in 08. So I think Joker's he's in his prime run, like LeBron was from 09 to 013. Remember, LeBron won 4 MVPs in 5 years and essentially should have won 5. They gave the angry vote to Derrick Rose the one year when LeBron had better stats every single thing.
Category.
He really should have won 5 MVPs in a row. Joker's in that stretch where he's going to win 3 out of 5.
Yep.
I think that obviously Embiid is great, but Embiid can't stay healthy.
Right.
So, I think Joker's, like I said, what he does for his team, you have to give him the MVP. I love Shai Gilgeous, but he's not the MVP. You have to give Joker this MVP this year.
I mean, like I said, just naming after him. One real quick thought. You talked about Jason Tatum. And it's not just him. I just feel like it's just Boston itself. Like once it gets down those closing moments, that sometimes they just don't know what really to do. And I hate to make something that's so bold to say, but it's because Jason Tatum is fucking soft, period. Like, take it to the hole, bro. I was the same thing when LeBron came. If you remember when LeBron came to Miami, it was his first instinct was to hold the ball till there was the 25-second or the shot clock was gone, and then he shoots some fadeaway dumb 3. And all I could scream at the TV was take it to the hole. Like if I had that size, I'd funk it every time because guess what? If I miss, I'm getting fouled, period. So that's just my thing. But, I'm 5 and can't jump for anything. So that's probably why. All right. Well, we're going to close the show tonight with a new little segment we're going to call In the Paint. All right, so I'm dishing the ball to Jones. He's going to go in the paint, but he got 60 seconds in that thing. And it's his time, free flow time. basically anything you want to rant about, my friend. The floor is yours. The clock starts now.
60 seconds to rant about anything. Nick Nation, this is for you guys. I love what we're doing. We're having a good time. We're playing great basketball, but slow it the hell down, y'all. We've been here. We've done this before. I know this because I'm a Cowboys fan. We hype each other. We say we're going to do this shit every year, and we don't do it. Don't do this to us, Nick Nation. Don't hype us up like that just to fucking come down. I'm not going to do it to myself, and I suggest you guys don't do it either. Calm down. Calm down.
Good rant there. Listen, I am a Miami Dolphins fan, and I went around the other day and told everyone there is no worse blue ball team than the Miami Dolphins. They get you so excited and no release. Damn it. All right, Travis.
All right.
The ball's passed to you, my friend. You're in the paint. 60 seconds starts now.
All right. Well, two things. Laker Nation, I love y'all, but like I want to say this: LeBron is going to be a free agent if he opts out this year, and if the Lakers pay him $50 million, they are tripping. They are not about winning championships. We become the Dallas Cowboys. We're more about selling tickets than we would be winning championships if we pay LeBron $50 million. Second, quick thing would be the NCAA tournament. There are no really stars in the tournament for men. All the stars are on the women's side for the first time since I've watched it. UConn is the best team. They have no stars.
Yep.
Wow, so true. I forgot to even hit the buzzer. I was sitting there listening because, you're so on point with the NCAA. I had to switch hats up, but yeah, you're so right about that. That's pretty crazy the way that's gone. And not it's the same reference, but even in like something, a sport like wrestling, if you will, they even had that little switch with there where it seemed like all the female superstars were like all of a sudden at WrestleMania, they were having them be the main event all of a sudden. So hey, I'm with it, man. I'm with it. It's all good for me. Just,
I couldn't name you'll see the draft and you couldn't name 5 picks from college. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If Zach Edey's the best player in college basketball is
Listen, I love the ladies. I'm all about the women power. I'm with it. Jones, where can we follow, subscribe, get all your great content, my friend?
You can follow me at Jonesin for Sports. You see it on my shirt. I don't know if you can see it clear. Jonesin for Sports on all social media platforms and on YouTube. Same name, Jonesin for Sports.
Go check out, follow, subscribe, our man Jones. Travis Reed, where can we get all your great content, my friend?
Pretty much, I got my shirt on kind of like him, An Athlete's Journey. Travis Reed, it's on all Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, all that. You can follow me at Travis W. Reed. If you look at my name on Instagram, it's REED Travis W. On Facebook, I post all my stuff on both those sites. And also on YouTube as well. If I have my YouTube An Athlete's Journey show on YouTube as well. So you could just type in Travis Reed An Athlete's Journey, click it, and then it'll go to the page. Follow, subscribe on that too.
Well, make sure you follow, subscribe, get all Travis's great content. He's got great stuff he puts out. Same with our man Jones. But the main thing, make sure you follow, subscribe to the 3P. Little things stopping you from doing it. Big things popping for us when you do. So we do appreciate it. For my man Jones, Travis, I'm Commissioner Cooper, and we are out.
3P.